Let me show you how I cut my pages to size. And a note on sizes, I've been looking at the sizes of a regular traveler's notebook, and one said 4.3 by 8¼ inch, and that translates to 11 by 21 centimeters. There's different sizes out there, so I'm just gonna go with the first size I discovered, and that is 4.3 inches by 8¼ inches high, or 11 by 21 centimeters. Now you need it to be open, so the height is still, the height is still 8¼ inches or 21 centimeters. Now the width will be 8.6 inches or 22 centimeters. I've cut everything 8/5/8 of an inch so that I'm on a fixed line here. And so this is a dictionary book. So 8¼ is over here. You cannot see that. 8¼ is over here. Now I kind of like this edge to be included in my book, so I will move this over so that I have a little edge over here. And mind you, not all the papers need to be the same height. And I will be using my rotary cutter and ruler for quilting. Of course, this cutter is designated to cut paper only. Now also I want to look at the page. What do I find interesting? Is any of these words interesting to keep or not? And I like text, so I think I'm just going to cut the bottom off like so, somewhat straight, and then I will go to 8/5/8 over here, line it up and cut. I will keep these strips because if I want to do some decorating with the cut-off strips, I can do that. Now it's just a matter of remembering what size do I fold, because these two sizes are very close together. Now I will be folding everything, and I will be needing to trim something, because if I keep adding paper in here, they will stick out. So I will be folding all my paper first, and then I will organize them and see how they fit in each other. Okay, I will be continuing folding everything, and then I will come back when I've kind of placed every paper where I want them. I thought I'd show you quickly how I put gesso on a page so that I can write on it. And I have a little bit of gesso over here, and I add some with my finger, and then I have an old credit card, and then I smooth it out with my credit card. This way it's a very thin layer, and I don't get big blobs everywhere. And you know, I can still see through, and that's just fine. And not everything has to be covered. You know? I'll do the other side another time. That's how I go about gessoing a page so that I can use it. So here's the stack of papers I am left with. So, and I've cut everything 8¼ high, except for the papers that weren't that high. I just left them the size they were. And I cut everything 8 5/8. So when you determine where you want each page to go, so I figured I want a pretty paper on the outside, and I will, you know, a writing space, a book page, something else, something to write on again, you know, like have them alternate a little bit so that you don't have all the writing spaces in one area and all the book pages in another area. I found a bag that had old advertisements on it, so I put that in. And So this is how the gesso looks. You know, if you get a black enough pen, you can write on it. Or I could use these pages to make pockets on, so then I don't have to write on it. And so these are my pages. Now when I folded everything in half, so when I fold it in half, line it up in the top and the bottom, you can see, of course, that now I have a lot that stick out of this page here. So I will trim this. I have my ruler and I trim this to 4 1/4. And I will do this with my rotary cutter, but I have a 16mm wide blade, so it's a little higher, so I won't get into trouble, I hope, while doing this. Now, don't move the ruler. Okay, not bad. If you don't have a ruler, you can use an X-Acto knife. Make sure it's a sharp one and keep on cutting. And use a metal ruler so that you don't accidentally cut in your plastic ruler. So we'll leave it here, and in the next video we will add in pockets. See you in the next one.